Good day, everyone. This is Jaden Patindan, and today we're going to delve into the fascinating journey of Philippine literature during the Republic period 1946 to 1985. As this period was an important time when Filipinos worked to rebuild the country and to find their voice through writing. So now we will look at how writers shared the struggles, hopes, and dreams of the nation during this period. So let us first talk about its historical conditions or what was happening in the Philippines during this time. So the Republic period 1946 to 1985 of Philippine literature emerged in the aftermath of the Japanese occupation, which of course left the Philippines face severe economic damages. And during those time, the country was rebuilding, and then the Tagalog language was declared as the national language. So by this declaration, the Tagalog as a national language marked as a significant step in promoting Filipino identity. This change encouraged writers to create more literature in the vernacular, making it accessible to the masses. So the pre-war works like Banaag at Sikat by Loki Santos and Ngayon at Gabi by Severino Reyes continued to inspire the writers with their focus on class struggles and Filipino values. Literature after the war captured the harsh realities of wartime experiences. Writers like Carlos Bulosan in America is in the Heart and Stephen Javila in Without Seeing the Dawn told powerful stories about survival, resilience, and the struggle of Filipinos during the war. This work showcased the enduring spirit of the Filipino people and their ability to rise above adversity. Patriotic themes in literature often emphasize nationalism and the fight for independence. Many stories reflected the efforts of Filipinos to assert their identity and resist external powers. Political and social tensions like the issues of collaboration would influence literature. These themes highlighted justice, morality, and the challenges of rebuilding a nation. So, US, after granting independence to the Philippines in 1946, the Bill Trade Act ensured U.S. economic dominance, while the military base agreement allowed the U.S. to control military sites in the Philippines. Cultural exchange programs like the Fulbright program were intended to promote cultural understanding but ended up intensifying American influence in Filipino education and culture. These agreements shaped both the economy and the cultural identity of the Philippines during this time. So the Filipino literature during this period showcased a blend of traditions and unique creative expressions, reflecting both foreign and local influences. The period saw a convergence of Euro-Hispanic and Anglo-American aesthetics with indigenous Filipino styles. Urban writers focused on Western ideals, while rural writers emphasized nationalism and cultural identity. Literature evolved from realistic portrayals of life to more sentimental and emotionally driven narratives, reflecting the country's shift in focus. But despite these foreign influences, indigenous traditions remained strong, enriching Filipino literature with its unique cultural heritage. So I guess that would be my part. Thank you.
So good day, everyone. So my name is GNB Caperacha, and I'm going to discuss the Euro-Hispanic traditional writers. So first is Lazaro Francisco, born in 1898 and died in 1970. So Lazaro Francisco, a nationalist writer, focused on social justice and the struggles of Filipino farmers. His notable works include Ilaw sa Hilaga and Bayang Nagpatiwakal. He received the National Artist of the Philippines for Literature posthumously. So second is Amado V. Hernandez, born in 1903 and died in 1970. So Amado V. Hernandez, a social activist and prolific writer known for for his poems and novels that address labor rights and social injustices. His involvement in the labor movement led to imprisonment, and he continued writing influential works like Mga Ibong Mandaragit. He was also named a National Artist of the Philippines for Literature. So third is Jose Garcia Vela, born in 1908 and died in 1987. A modernist poet and writer known for his innovative style and use of language. His work often explored love and the human condition. He received the National Artist of the Philippines for Literature in 1973. Next is Macario Pineda. Macario Pineda is born in 1912 and died in 1950. A short story writer recognized for his realistic portrayals of rural life and ordinary Filipinos. His notable story is Suyuan sa Tubigan, remains a classic in Filipino literature. So next is Genoveva Edrusa Matuti. Born in 1915 and died in 2009, a celebrated author known for her poignant short stories exploring human relationships and social realities. His story, Kwento ni Mabuti, won the first Palamca Award for short story in Filipino. She received multiple awards for her contributions to literatures. So these authors are significantly impacted on Filipino literature, addressing the themes of social injustice, identity, and the human experience. So next slide is essentialism and the search for identity. Post-Magsaysay period provoked intellectual crisis. Second is Claro and Rectus, nationalism-inspired youth movements. Third is exposure to Western essentialists or Sartre, Camus, influenced Filipino writers. And fourth is Karima Pulutan stories explored urban alienation and societal corruption. So the post-Magsaysay period in the Philippines sparked an intellectual awakening influenced by Western essentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus. Claro M. Rectus nationalism inspired youth movements and encouraged writers to explore themes and identity and alienation. Karima Pulutan stories set in urban Manila highlighted issues of urban alienation and societal corruption, reflecting the struggles of individuals seeking meaning in a rapidly changing society. This essentialist influence continues to shape Filipino literature, encouraging deeper explorations of freedom, responsibility, and the human condition in a complex world. So next slide is growing militancy of national consciousness. The passage discusses the rise of Filipino nationalism in literature after the shift of Independence Day from July 4 to June 12. So this change sparked a movement among young Filipino writers like Rio Alma Lamberto Antonio and Edgardo Reyes to promote Tagalog literature, which was overshadowed by English works at that time. Edgardo Reyes' novel Sa Mga Kuko ng Liwanag exemplifies this movement by portraying the struggles of rural migrants in urban areas, highlighting the social and economic realities faced by Filipinos during this period. This focus on Filipino experiences and themes aim to elevate Tagalog literature and contribute to a growing sense of national consciousness. So next slide is the Philippine literature under martial law. So during martial law in the Philippines, the nationalist movement gained strength to organizations like Makibaka, which means Malayang Kilusan ng Bagong Kababaihan. This group aimed to empower women and promote feminist consciousness. They nurtured female literary artists, leading to the emergence of prominent writers such as Luwalhati Bautista, Aida Santos, Malu Jacob, Elnia Mangbanglo, Marjorie Ibasco, Fanny Garcia, Rosalie Matilak, Lilkia Q. Santiago, and Joey Barrios. These women used their writing to express their experiences, advocate for women's rights, and contribute to the growing resistance against the Marcos regime. To conclude our discussion, Filipino literature during the Republic period mirrored the nation's struggles and resilience in the face of post-independence challenges and political turmoil. Themes of nationalism, identity, and resistance dominated especially during martial law when protest literature became a powerful tool against oppressions. Writers using both English and native languages reflected the diversity and strengths of Filipino culture. These periods highlighted literatures as both a mirror of society and a force for social change, leaving a lasting impact on the nation's literary history. So that's all. Thank you.